Hi everybody, I'm Dr. John Douillard, and today I want to talk about my new course called Empowered Longevity Using Ayurvedic Wisdom and Modern Science. You know, Ayurveda, Ayu means life, Veda means truth. It's really about letting the truth of your life out. And living a long, healthy life is important and necessary for us to figure out how to actually accomplish that, how to find the truth. And it's not the truth like tell the truth, which is of course a part of it, but the truth of us comes from a much deeper place. From the Ayurvedic perspective, there are four aims, four goals of life called Purush Arthas. Purush means soul, Artha means purpose of. So the four aims of life are for the purpose of the soul. We think about something called kama, which means pleasure. Artha means gaining wealth and becoming rich and having more possessions and things like that. And then dharma being having your avocation and your vocation being the same, finding that perfect job that's just part of your dharma. Those are the surface ways of looking at kama, artha, and dharma. Underneath, it's for the purpose of the soul. Finding pleasure not in just things, and going places, but finding, pleasure from connecting with the people that you love on a really deep level. Because we know from studies that show that when you love someone fully with no expectation to get anything in return, just free love, like the sun shines on us with getting nothing from us in return, it changes the genetic code of the person you're loving in a positive way. When you gain a lot of wealth and material possessions, you need a roof over your head. But when you learn not to be attached to the fruits of your actions, you learn something that is for the purpose of the soul. Ayurveda is all about don't be attached to the fruits. Don't be attached to these things. Use your wealth to help the world be a better place. Care for others in need, that kind of a thing. Dharma, not just get the perfect job. Your dharma is aligning your life with the laws of nature, being in sync with the rhythms of nature, being righteous and respect the rules and laws of nature. And by being in that groove, in that fall line groove of life, in sync with the rhythms of nature, your dharma will happen to you. You will find the rhythms of nature because you aligned yourself with your own personal destiny. That's dharma. And when all of those are completed, you experience something called moksha. And moksha is freedom. Freedom from the needs of all that stuff to make you happy because you're completely content on the inside. This is the goal of life. This is the four M's. And as you can see, it takes an entire lifetime to figure all that out. So empowered longevity is so critical for us to make that happen. Now, we know from quantum physics that there's a field, different fields, they call them the unified field theories, there's 0-point theories. All these fields are now understood in quantum physics to be fields that are informed or intelligent. Even, Max Planck, the father of quantum physics, and Einstein, they all talked about these fields being intelligent, being informed. So informed that they said if they did the math, right, and they figured out if everything was random, right, everything is just on this earth is just random, particles moving around, it would be like a hurricane moving through a junkyard and assembling a perfectly running plane that you can just start up and fly away in. Not happening, right? So it's impossible mathematically for everything that we see on this planet, the creation, the beauty of a forest, to be random. It's not possible. So this field is intelligent. It's the field that existed, and they now know this, before space and time. So it was a field that existed before our space and our time. And they know that that field is a field that takes impressions from everything that we think and say and do. Quantum physicists suggest that that field is in fact our consciousness, and our thoughts are uploaded into that field to help that field evolve. Yes, the universe is evolving, and it's evolving by feedback loops from our thoughts being uploaded into that field, and the field knows how to evolve. In the same way, in the microcosm, the bugs in the soil that become the bugs in our gut through a process called horizontal transfer of genetic material, that feedback from the bugs out there feeling all the pesticides out there are sending information to our genetic code to help us evolve and stay ahead of the curve so creation can stay alive. The exact same thing happens in the macrocosm, where our consciousness is basically our thoughts are being uploaded into that field to help it evolve. It's a bit of a scary thought, but that's what's happening. And we download information from that field, which means this human brain, this human nervous system is an antenna for that consciousness. But to get that antenna dialed into the right frequency, to the right station, you gotta purify it. And that means Ayurveda. Ayurveda, purify the body, purify the mind, purify the shrotas, the channels, the circulation, and the subtle energy. And realize that, as Ayurveda does, that the most subtle things are the most powerful. Our microbiome, we can't see them, but they're the most powerful. And this understanding of pulling back the bow and establishing our awareness and being into such a state of deep consciousness, silence, and then shooting the arrow, not from a string moving around like crazy and no one knows where the arrow went, right? But holding it perfectly still and shooting a transformational arrow. This is the goal of Ayurveda. So when I say Ayurveda means the truth of your life, I'm talking about pulling back that bow, not being so attracted or affected by the outside world, stimulated by the outside world, but being fascinated by something within all of us. And that's what this course, Empowered Longevity, is really about. It's about being conscious. I talk about in this course, there's a 7-week course, each module goes through a different aspect of becoming conscious. One of those is Ayurvedic psychology, right? We've created patterns of behavior and belief systems from young children to survive and navigate our childhood that we continue to project on the screen as adults. Those patterns of behavior are written into the white matter of our brain, something called Tarpika Kapha. And they keep us thinking and doing the same dumb stuff again and again and again. They need to go. And we need to rewrite the program that allows us to not be attracted or infatuated by a material world of dopamine reward chemistry, which is fleeting at best, but by stimulating us to be more aware of something more deep inside of us. There's a whole module on breathing techniques, and I'm going to actually build different breathing. Every week we go into a different breathing practice, and we build that because that's the most powerful tool for transformation, for becoming conscious. And the common denominator for all the breathing techniques that I've written about and done videos about is neuroplasticity, changing and rewriting those emotional old patterns of behavior, which were there for survival, but rewriting them to free yourself from being attached to protective patterns of behavior and free yourself to open the delicate petals of your flower and let something real, authentic, powerful, beautiful, sensitive, delicate out. That's what we're here to do. And when you begin to purify that and you rewrite the program, all that stress that was once there, which was plowing through your intestinal tract, starts to heal. There's a whole module on rebooting your digestive system and healing and repair your digestion. You can't be an instrument, an antenna for connecting with those unified fields that predate space and time, that are recording everything, and connect with that universal informed consciousness. Yes, scientists don't like to call it God, but that's what it is. We can connect with that. We're designed, this instrument is designed to connect with that. But we rarely do. And this is what Ayurveda said, that the life cycle of a human ends. The last half, or at least last quarter of your life is governed by, inspired by this desire to find out what's it all about. And we can begin to use this instrument. The problem is that many of us have broken our bodies down along the way. We're on dependent longevity. We're on pills and powders to stay alive and all these things. And we don't have the consciousness anymore to create that connection. But that's what we're supposed to do. And that's what this course is really all about, is to help you understand how to bring this body into balance. Part of it, one of the modules is about circadian rhythms. the rhythms of nature. How do you go downstream with the current? Eat in season, get the right bugs at the right season for the right effect. Immunity in the winter, decongest you in the spring and help dissipate heat in the summer. Studies show that when deer eat bark in the winter, they have bugs for bark in the winter. If they were to eat bark in the summer, well, they had bugs for leaves to digest the leaves, and they had the wrong bugs. It would cause such a level of indigestion it could actually kill the deer. But we, don't have any idea about eating in season. It's only just beginning to emerge in science. Ayurveda talked about this concept for thousands of years. I've written so many articles about circadian medicine and how important it is for us to connect and be in sync with those rhythms. So the course goes step by step by step, and at the very end we give you a 4-day Ayurvedic Kaya Kalpa cleanse. Kaya means body, Kalpa means purify, transform. So we're going to take all the tools that we gave you in the 7-week course and then finish with this powerful 4-day detox using self-inquiry, yoga, breathing techniques, circadian rhythms, Ayurvedic psychology, everything to actually experience 4 days where we're going to pull back that bow, create self-awareness, and shoot ourselves into this world from a space of the truth of us, the ultimate truth, and then begin to start to learn how to connect this instrument as an antenna, to start to be aware that we are, literally realized passengers on this journey of the soul. That's what this is really about. This is a journey of the soul. The body is here as an instrument to make that happen. And we got all distracted about the new shoes and the shopping and the new cars and this and that. And we're missing the reality of this whole journey. And that is to find a level of, and the cool, it's not just like so you can be, learning about the cosmos or traveling through the cosmos. It's about a level of contentment that dopamine, the reward chemistry, can never provide. It's a fleeting, self-limiting hormone. The more you drive it to stimulate, to get the reward, the more reward you need to get the same effect. Oxytocin, the longevity hormone, the health hormone, produced when you give love, care, touch, help others. The more you do that, the more of the longevity hormone you make. So it's not just about some lofty idea of the future enlightenment. It's about the here and now being comfortable and healthy in your skin. And when you get older, I'm on my 65th, I'm going to be 65 this year. And for me, it's like, this is the best time of my life. And I'm so grateful that I had Ayurveda my whole life, pretty much my whole adult life. I started practicing it when I was 27. My whole adult life, I used these tools to right the wrongs of my body being out of balance. And I've been able to get through my life pretty unscathed. And that's what I want for my patients and for my students, is to realize that we can get to a place, because when you're younger, you got to raise your family, take care of your kids. We raised 6 beautiful kids. A little crazy, a little nuts to do it, but we did it. Our last one is just finishing high school right now. And there's a lot of times during that time you just don't have time to do the stuff I'm talking about doing. But then when it's done, you start realizing what's true. This is what happens. Our natural instinct is to go within in the second half. And that's what I want to do, is guide you to how to bring the body back into balance so you don't have to hassle with physical imbalances when you're in your 80s. You want to feel great when you're in your 80s, but have that level of clarity as an instrument to connect this field with the universal field, that informed field, to inspire us on a much deeper level. And also to make sure that we have a level of contentment and enjoyment while we are here on this planet. So please click the information below to get more information about my Empowered Longevity course using Ayurvedic wisdom and modern science. They go together. And that's what we're all about here at LifeSpa.com, is ancient wisdom and modern science. The research is overwhelming. And this course is a kind of a culmination of years of work understanding how to live a long and conscious life in a body that's vibrant and healthy right to the very end. All right, you guys, so check the information below, click on the link, learn more about my Empowered Longevity course, and we'll see you there. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard. Do you like this video? Don't forget to subscribe and share.
This recording is brought to you by LifeSpa, where ancient Ayurvedic wisdom meets modern science. Get access to free health video newsletters by Dr. John at lifespa.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.